Namaste, hello and welcome back to another video on Hamsavahini, Vajraasthra. I'm Awhona and today's video is about all the books that I've read so far. So I am participating in a number of readathons and I did read a couple of books which I've completed. So I'll be talking about them further on in this video. So two of these books are for middle grade March, and I'll leave a link to all the announcement videos for middle grade March in the description box below, as well as the overhead cards above. And also the other book that I have just recently finished is for Irish Readathon, and I'll leave a link to all the announcement videos of the hosts in the description box below as well, should you like to refer to them. So, and if you would like to join them as well. So do please join me further in this video. So one of the books which I recently completed is The Jewel of the Seven Stars, written by Bram Stoker, and I read this for the Irish Readathon. Now this is based on an ancient Egyptian mythology, and the story reflects the author's deep interest and research on the sacred funerary rituals and science behind the objects placed along with the sarcophagus in the ancient Egyptian tombs. So in the story we have a wealthy widowed Egyptologist living with his only daughter Margaret in this huge mansion surrounded with ancient Egyptian artifacts which had been discovered during an archaeological find some 20 years ago, and a gentleman in question, Mr. Trelawney, is completely obsessed and engrossed with his work, and one day in the dead of the night he is attacked in his very room, rendering him gravely injured and unconscious. His daughter Margaret discovers him in this state and immediately sends a plea for help out of desperation in the dead of the night to her only known acquaintance and friend, Mr. Malcolm Ross, a young barrister by profession and our main protagonist in this story. After Malcolm arrives, he immediately evaluates the situation and decides to do his best to help his young friend Margaret, and with a doctor and a policeman they all set about to solving the mystery of the attacker while healing Mr. Trelawney and consoling Margaret. The attacks continue and the story takes a completely mysterious turn when it is discovered that the attacks are coming from an entity inside the house and is associated with a bizarre smell which is almost of such a nature that it puts the person inhaling it into a coma-like state. Now the story then plunges into the heart of Egyptian mythology, where we have a powerful and dangerous pharaoh queen ruling over the north and the south of Egypt, who is adept in politics and matters of the state while also being a powerful sorceress after having mastered black magic to an extent that her essence can survive for centuries together outside her body. Somehow everything about this pharaoh queen is connected to the number 7, and mysteriously the queen herself has 7 fingers in one of her hands. She also owns a tiger cat who has also been mummified and is present next to her sarcophagus, and this tiger cat also has 7 toes, and that is absolutely the heart of the mystery. Now, the story takes very interesting turns and twists, and there are two endings to the story, but in my frank opinion, both the endings had potentials for a sequel, and that was abruptly ended. So, therefore, this was a 3-star read for me, but had there been a sequel, I think this would have been a 4.5-star read for me. Now, I have posted my review on GoodReads as well, where I've spoken about the story a little more in detail, so you can definitely cross-check it, and I'll leave a link in the description box below in case if you're interested. So that was my take on this book, The Jewel of the Seven Stars. So one of the books which I recently completed for middle grade March was BreadCrumbs by Ursu, and I did start this off a little early, but I absolutely enjoyed it. And this is a story which is set during the winter times, and it follows Hazel, who is our main protagonist, and she has just recently moved into a new neighborhood along with her mother, and that's because her parents have recently got separated. Her father's due to be remarried again, and very soon, and her mother takes up a new job, shifts into this new neighborhood, and she is struggling to make all ends meet. And this puts Hazel in a very difficult situation because they are crunched for money, and her mother has to fund all the areas in which they have to make all ends meet, etc. So Hazel is very perturbed by the fact that she has to adjust in this new environment, and she has a new school, new people who surround her, and the only good thing about her new circumstances is her friend Jack, who is very close to her and is almost like her, because they both have very creative imaginations, and they create their own little escapades in which they have their superheroes and supervillains, and they play games together, they sketch together, and they create stories, and they have fun together. So everybody is very jealous of their friendship, and Hazel's mother tries to convince Hazel and tries to make her visit her friends who have girls of Hazel's age, but Hazel is not very interested in making friends with them, but she absolutely treasures her one and only friendship with Jack, and that changes overnight. Now, in this story, we have two worlds. So as in the Harry Potter world, we do have the Muggle world as well as we have the Wizarding world. So similarly, over here we have the world of reality where they actually live in, and the world which is beyond the woods, and they are forbidden to go beyond the woods because it is very dangerous. But then one day Jack changes, and he tries to distance himself from Hazel, and he makes fun of her and tries to hurt her, and Hazel is of course hurt, but she is also very confused as to why this is happening, and because she has a very persistent nature, she decides to get to the bottom of this. And Jack goes snowboarding with his friends, and he somehow goes missing, and Hazel intuits that probably he has gone beyond the woods, and he's probably going to be in danger, and he needs to be found and brought back. But Jack's parents think that that is not the case, and Jack has probably gone to visit his aunt. So Hazel takes it upon herself to find Jack, and she packs her bag, and she starts, starts going on this journey wherein all alone, wherein she is going to find Jack. And beyond the woods is this fairy tale world where we have all the fairy tales, or the Grimm's fairy tale, unraveling one by one with all the characters, and there's a lot which changes within Hazel as she progresses through her journey. So this is what the story is all about, and it's a story about friendship and how far you can go to save your friend. Now, I have posted my review on GoodReads for this book, and I'll leave a link to that in the description box below should you like to go through it. And this was a 4-star read for me. Now, one of the other books which I completed as well was In the Tunnel by Julie Lee. Now, this was not originally on my TBR, but I did pick up this book for the prompt refugee or immigrant, and this is a story which has taken its inspiration from the child soldiers of the Korean War. So after World War II, when Japan vacated Korea, Korea was divided by the 30th parallel into North Korea and South Korea. So North Korea was taken over by the Soviets, who were popularly known as the Reds, and South Korea was taken by the Americans. Now, there was a huge change happening in both parts of Korea, and there were rules and regulations which were set, and in case if you don't follow them, either you went missing, or you were killed, or your family started missing, and anybody who was of age wherein his build was stronger, or he could pick up a gun, was actually pulled into the army, and he had to go and fight on the frontiers because war broke out between North Korea and South Korea. And this is the story about a growing boy with his younger sister and his father, who was a businessman, but later he, because of the Soviets taking over North Korea, he had to forgo that business and he had to become a school teacher, wherein he started getting himself involved in the underground anti-Soviet operations, and unfortunately his father was discovered, and his father was arrested, and the family had to flee to South Korea. So it's a journey wherein the children of Korea have to become refugees on their own soil. So what sort of difficulties they experience, and how the entire war changes their psyche, as well as what it makes of them, and things which they could not believe, or which they have probably read in storybooks, started happening to them, and things which were horrific beyond their imagination was something which they had to face, and what effects that had. And this family which got separated finally struggles and escapes to South Korea as refugees, and then the boy enlists himself without letting his mother and his sister know that he's trying to go and find his father in North Korea by joining the army. And the book has it's divided into on one hand we do see the boy who is a soldier in the South Korean army, and he is trapped in this tunnel which is dug up by the Chinese, who are part of the North Korean, or the enemy, who are in the enemy territory, and he gets stuck over there, and he's trying all the books which because he used to love reading books, so everything that he's been reading from books is what makes him survive. So it's part survival story. It's actually a story of survival and struggle, and what they face as refugees on their own land. And the first part of this book is, I believe, The Brother's Keeper, which deals with another brother-sister or a sibling duo who also escape, and this is an offshoot of that story. So this was a, I believe, 5-star rate for me, or a 4-star rate for me, and I absolutely loved it. I have also posted my GoodReads review, and I'll leave a link of that in the description box below, should you like to check with it as well. So that's all I have for you today. Do let me know what you thought about these books and whether you liked them or not. And do let me know all your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. And if you don't have the time to leave a comment, you can always leave an emoji of your choice, and just to show that you were here. And that would be all from me this week. So I'll see you soon next week with another video. So till then, take care, have a good reading week ahead, and namaste.